Welcome to Digging History. I'm your host, James McCormick, with my good friend and brother, Corbett Perkins. You know, we're just two veterans out digging our way into history and using our love for history as part of our therapy. And trust me, we need the therapy. You know, we're trying to just navigate life after the Army. Now, this show is all about bringing together veterans, history, and the love of relic hunting. And it's designed to tell a story of those who served very, very long ago, and to also tell the story and the history of America and locate those precious artifacts to properly display and preserve them for the sake of history. We bring together technology, including metal detectors, maps, and even drone technology needed to locate, film, and document these discoveries, allowing all citizens to see, and in some cases, touch, items that are older than the state of West Virginia in many cases. Now, the veterans we work with on these projects will have an opportunity to tell their own story, and in the course of these expeditions, find some therapeutic value of the experience and fellowship that these great adventures provide. We have a lot of fun. And today's show will be a collaboration of various digs in and out of West Virginia, to include some digging with a veteran hemp farmer in Putnam County, and also digging back at Scary Creek and at the site of many Civil War sites and other locations that we've had to search during both the extreme heat and also the ongoing pandemic. So just sit back and enjoy the show, and remember, folks, that under the current COVID-19 situation, we must all do our very best to social distance, wear proper PPE, and maintain good hygiene practices so that we not only protect ourselves, but also other citizens of our great state and nation. Corbett, what have you brought in today to show our viewers, and what has been your assessment of this summer as far as digging goes?
Hot, too many ticks, a lot of sticker briars, but no yellow jackets. No yellow jackets.
Did you have a run-in with yellow jackets?
Not this season. Last season they tore me up. But I did some research, and I have two reproduction models of the Navy Colt, which was carried by the Confederates and the Union soldiers, and I did a reproduction of a 44 English cur, and I did it with 30 grains of powder and with cigarette rolling papers and a mandrel and a jig to make sure I packed it in there tight. But these bullets, it's a mold that was a reproduction of a 44 cur bullet that was recovered at a Confederate campsite in Tennessee. The mold is made by Era's Gone bullets, and the cur pistol was, I think they did about 9,000 revolvers, and they were made by the London Armory Company, and they were imported and snuck through the blockades to the Confederate soldiers. And
so this was an English.
That's an English-made bullet, a reproduction, and I will do, me and my youngest boy Brendan, who does the videotaping for me, which we are going to hit the range here after we get done filming, and he's going to film me firing both 44 caliber Navy Colts with the rounds that I made, and I'll videotape him firing them too, because he loves to shoot.
Well, that's good, and we'll actually get a chance to see some of that, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'll have him videotape me firing them first, and then I'll let him do some shooting too.
You know, when we was out digging this summer, I'm telling you, it's definitely a big change in the environment. We walk out to the woods.
The foliage is like really bad.
Tell me what, you know, this is why it's important, I think, to let the viewers know that if you're going to do this, especially in the summer, You know, there's some things that you need to make sure that you have with you. One of them's water.
Water. Take you a snack just in case, because all that walking, all that swinging that metal detector burns your calories, makes your sugar. I don't know. You may have some kind of diabetic problem. Take you a snack, an MRE, granola bars, something.
Let people know
Definitely
where
bug
you're at.
spray. Definitely bug spray.
Yeah, and definitely, I just dealt with multiple tick bites. You know, we've all been hit by ticks, but to the point to where I had to go see a doctor over that. You know,
Well,
and they
I
put me on the medicine.
pulled 18 off of me up at Scary Creek one day. 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen ticks this bad, and I coat myself with
Well, we both
bug
do.
spray.
I even blouse my boots so
Yes.
they can't get up my pant. I try not to let them up my pant leg, but I went and bought snake boots too. Which, if you go out into the woods,
Yeah.
it behooves you either get snake boots or the not the chaps, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the chaps. Well, I had that run-in with those two rattlesnakes,
Yeah, I
two
don't
timber
know.
rattlers in Mason County, which a lot of people say, well, they've never seen a timber rattler, and I can promise you that they exist, and they let me know real quick that they were rattlers.
Well, one of my friends up there by Droop Mountain, I think he said he killed
20 foot?
it was 48 inches. That was the small one.
Oh,
So it's
48
2
inch
foot.
long,
It was
yeah.
2 foot long, and then a bigger one was curled up, and he said the only reason why it didn't get him is because it was lethargic. It was still kind of cool,
Yeah.
but he almost stepped on it. So no, Corbett don't play with no snakes. Corbett don't play with no ticks. Corbett don't play with anything. As long as it leaves Corbett alone, Corbett leave it alone. I will shoot it. I will. Shoot it, Jacob. But you know how hard it is to try to kill a snake with a 9mm?
No,
without snake shot.
It's absolutely
Yeah,
nearly impossible unless you're an excellent shot and you can take the head off with one. But
Hopefully it just scares them.
yeah, hopefully. The problem that you run into is that this wildlife is also trying to adjust to this heat. The heat is dangerous, and you need to let people know that you're out in the woods. So as you're watching some of the events that we've filmed, and there's a collaboration of different events that we haven't had on the show before, but thought that it would be really cool for you to see. The one thing that you will see is that we've had to adjust how we do business. Usually, we're back up in the woods, and we still do a little bit of that, but ultimately it's too thick right now to get into the greenbrier infested battlefields. But it's a heck of a lesson, because most of these battles that we're studying were fought at this time of the year.
Matter of fact, Carnifax the Ferry, September, next month. If I'm not mistaken, is it the 17th?
You're right, the 17th.
So all those thickets and all this heat, can you imagine wearing wool? But I don't know, have we told them about what we have intentions on doing about dressing in period clothing and doing this stuff?
I think we did bring that up, but
If not,
go ahead.
If not, we have intentions on starting to do this. I'm going to portray a Confederate First Sergeant from the cavalry, and James is going to do a Union officer, and we're going to go around doing this stuff in that type of clothing. So we know how those poor boys felt. Now, I know how me and James felt in Iraq, but I don't know how these boys in 1860s, I don't know if I
Well,
could
they
do-
wore long underwear under
I
there,
know,
too.
but I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. But
History's cool, though, man,
Yeah.
especially if you can, and this is the part, especially now that our kids are at home because of
Yeah.
this. This is a show that you can sit down, because we're definitely kid-friendly. And you can sit down with your child and you can talk about battles and really cool things that we find. So, this is a history lesson all in itself.
well, that's another thing that puts a hindrance on my digging, because I have two younger children, Brendan that's 11 and Mackenzie's 7. So I can't necessarily take them every time we go, because one, they can't detach themselves from the electronics long enough. Except for Brendan, I give him props. He'll videotape Dad. But my goal here in the near future is to give all you guys, both on here and on YouTube, history lessons, starting off with the Confederacy's flag. The flag that everybody's throwing a fit about is not the Confederate flag. Bad news for y'all. It's a naval jack. It was only flown on the Navy ships, which the Confederacy didn't have that many of. So yeah, but we'll get into that later time. Mm-hmm. And the equipment that I use, I wanted to show y'all everything, my whole setup, and have James show his setup, and Byron, and maybe Clint too. Clint Ridenauer and Byron Tucker.
Yeah, we picked up a couple new partners.
Yeah, we picked up a couple new fellas.
Byron was in the Navy, not for a super long time, but he was in.
Clinton was in the Army with me, and we've served well over 8 years or so together. So we were in combat together. So he won't get on the video. I mean, he'll let us video, but he won't come down here and do this. I know that for a fact. But
we've caught him a couple of times.
Yeah,
on there. They even got him laughing once.
But that's my main goal for everybody, is to do history lessons on here and on YouTube. The ones that I can't fit in here will be on the YouTube channel. Did you want to tell them about changing your T-shirt?
Well, actually, we do have a T-shirt here, and we're going to get some of these made, and it's called Extreme Appalachian Discoveries. And so we're actually talking about doing a little change up in our names in the future, because we've ran into some other interesting things while out in these Appalachian mountains, to include cool ghost stories. That, I've seen some things, and I'm telling you, whether you believe in it or not, there are some things. It's definitely unexplainable. I can't explain it, but it all revolves around the historical aspect of what we're doing. So sometimes, you get onto these, especially areas where there were battles, where a lot of people were killed or wounded.
The Battle of Rich Mountain, 300 some odd souls got killed, and we were up there and we did some ghost. I don't know what that was glowing back here in them woods, but I wasn't going back there and find out. I tell you that. Once again, I don't mess with it. It don't mess with me. We're all good.
So we've got some new equipment that's coming, some new things that are coming. So you'll get surprised, I'm sure. But
we got the ghost box. We got the digital recorder. Box. You got some kind of thermal camera.
I got a thermal camera. I've got a, the ghost hunting equipment. I ordered it specifically from a ghost hunting group. So again, it's technology, and it's something fun to do, and it's educational, because I think that it's cool. I don't know.
Well, back to the uniform real quick. I'm not just going to do Civil War, by the way. I am also going to do Frontier, because down your way you got Battle Point Pleasant, Chief Cornstalk, and then you got Chief Logan. I'm going to do the French and Indian War type stuff, Revolutionary War stuff. The only thing is money.
Yeah.
So if there's any rich folks out there who wants to buy uniforms.
We're self-funded, folks. We're self-funded. The state does not pay us to do this.
Nobody pays me to do anything.
So that is an important aspect of this. But hey, let's...
The radio show soon, hopefully.
Yeah, we do have a radio show.
There's going to be a metal detect and history radio show, podcast type thing, too, that everybody can call in and chime in on whatever. So all that stuff's coming up in the near future, which... we'll give all y'all the information for that stuff when it comes up.
All right, that sounds good. Well, look, we're not going to keep you all sitting listening to us much longer. Go ahead. We're going to roll some of the footage from the field. Enjoy, and please comment, and we'll catch you here shortly.
You'll not find it on the couch.
You ain't going to find nothing sitting on the couch.
Nope. Get off the couch.
Okay, folks, just wanted to let you know that this is early Sunday morning, heading out to Randolph County, West Virginia, to hunt a site of a suspected Civil War camp. So it is in Randolph County, is in and around the Rich Mountain battlefield area, but not actually on the battlefield. So I'm kind of, Maybe we'll find something, maybe we won't. But essentially there was a campsite near this area that the Confederates occupied, and then also one that the Union soldiers occupied the night before the battle. We've got permission to hunt, and some of the property that we're going to be on is going to be pretty close to that. What I have found is most maps, Civil War maps, are off by a few kilometers, so I'm hoping that it's going to be off and air on our side. But either way, I guarantee you that Civil War soldiers passed through that area. So keep watching us on Digging History, and we are actually also have another organization that's called Extreme Appalachian Discoveries, and we do all kinds of stuff. We're even going to get into some ghost hunting and some things like that. That is really, really cool. I've got an infrared camera with me. Hopefully I can catch some shots later this evening. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've been up since around 6:30, and I'm excited, got ready to go, got all my gear packed back there. I got my Fisher F75 metal detector, check. Gonna stop and get a few extra batteries before I pop out, and then we're gonna hit it. So keep watching us. And on Digging History, we're going to be hitting Randolph County, the Battle of Rich Mountain, and the occupation of that area. And it is going to be cool, folks. Okay, folks, out here on Sunday, searching an area in Randolph County near, in and around some camps that were close to the Rich Mountain battlefield. Found my first. Pretty good chance this is a Civil War find, and this is what they commonly refer to as camp lead. So it's just melted lead that I found here, and it's on the side of this hill. Now, according to the maps we have, you know, this was kind of a hard to defend place, and I can see why. North is behind me. But in the evenings, people would, you know, the soldiers would, you know, melt lead and make bullets and start fires with their cartridges and things like that. And this was, you know, this is most likely a piece of that lead that was dropped when they were making bullets, because there's not a lot of it. But I'll look around for some more. It's got the patina. That's the thing that you look for. It was definitely down at the right depth. And so anyways, hopefully we're going to stumble into this campsite. They said that they left everything here. So I'm sure it was scavenged over the years. But this property has been private for a long time. So I don't know how many people have been out here, but we'll go from there. So keep watching on Digging History as we are uncovering relics related to the Randolph County, West Virginia. I came upon this in the woods, and these are barrel bands. So there was a couple of barrels that were here. And when I mean barrels, I'm talking about wooden barrels with the bands around them. Now, I don't know if these are Civil War related or not, but this is just kind of a little clue. As we're going through the woods here, there's a creek. You know, maybe this is where, now they said that at one of these camps they just abandoned everything. So you could potentially see them leaving a barrel of water, whatever. You know, maybe it was hardtack, who knows. But they used a lot of barrels to transport things in, and I don't know, there's just quite a few of them here. This is probably a complete barrel assembly here. So I'm going to document the location, and we'll keep looking here in Randolph County, trying to find this campsite. So far, you know, we found very little. And it's a hot day, you know, so we'll just keep working it until we find it. So keep watching us on Digging History, and hopefully we'll bring you something really cool to look at here before long. But this is a good start. So as an archaeologist, someone that's really starting to evaluate the area, you know, you see this here, then potentially this is where some of the campsite was at. So. Okay, so about 200 yards to the west of the barrel bands, got a pretty good signal, and I found a dropped round ball, and that is no doubt probably from the Confederate camp out here. It's dropped, it's not been fired. So if you can see this area right here, there's been a lot of work here. It could have been just a fluke, but I'm gonna look around this area and really canvass it good. But I think I'm starting to find, you know, some of the campsite here. And this may really honestly be all that you find, but I feel very blessed that I found that, because I find a lot of fired balls near the battlefield, and they're all round balls this size. So there you go. Hey folks, James McCormick here, and Byron Tucker. We're out here on we have found a campsite, and it's in the middle of nowhere. And if you can look here, we found a trench line. So we've been following these old maps, and how you'll notice these trench lines is they make these sharp cuts. Now, Byron's gonna work the other side. He found a friction primer on up the hill, a Cannon friction primer, and I found a dropped 69 caliber bullet. But if they spend any time here at all, then we should find trash, things like that, which would be old bullets and probably buttons, broken things, maybe even some broken bayonets and things like that. So Byron's heading up that way. I'm going to hit this side of the trench line, and what we're looking for is the trash pile. So when you find stuff like this, understand that these soldiers, if they stayed there for any length of time, they toss their trash out over the side. So that's where you find the stuff at. They break a hat badge, they just toss it over the side. You know, they didn't just lay around with it. They had to keep the place pretty tight. So that's what we're looking for. So keep watching on Digging History. I think we'll find some cool stuff here. All right, everybody. Today, Byron and I, we've been coal mining.
Yeah.
It looks like it, but man, we've been out digging today and got a little bit dirty. So first off, I want to let Byron go over some of the stuff that he found today. And I'm going to move the camera over here. As you can see where he's at, there's a whole lot of different things there. There you go, Byron. Have at it.
An interesting thing that I found is this piece, I believe, is part of a Borman fuse.
Yes, it is.
And when I found it, it sounded like lead. But when I dug it, it didn't feel like lead until I brought it in and washed it and cleaned it up with a soft toothbrush and water. I'm pretty sure that's part of a Borman fuse.
Look at the threads on that. That cannonball, that's part of a cannonball that exploded. Wow, that is cool. Super cool. You are the artillery guy, man.
Well, I've found the cannonball, found the under fuse a while back, and it seems like it happens.
Friction primer.
Yeah, friction primer.
And a lot of times you've been hanging out with me, so that's your good luck charm right there.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And then I found 3 round balls, and one of them was found near where the Battle of Knives and Forks was, and the other 2 were found closer to Carnifex Ferry. And then there's a 3-ring bullet, probably a 58 caliber, and found a pretty good horseshoe. I believe that's as big a horseshoe as I ever found. Big work horseshoe. And an interesting thing I found, we were in a farm field and found this connecting rod off of a piece of equipment. I'll put that in electrolysis and clean it up just to see what it is. Be interesting, maybe to hang on the walls of decoration. Then I found part of an iron. Some lady somewhere along the line lost her iron or lost part of it. I'll put that in electrolysis and clean it up too. It'll clean up pretty nice. It'll just be cool to have hanging around. Now then, I found a little ball peen hammer. I'll clean that up and put a handle in it, and I'll use that here in the garage. It's a good little hammer. And of course, typical shotgun shells, a dozen of those, and typical pop cans. But when we find it, we bring it out of the woods.
That's
where
right.
we don't leave any of our trash behind.
Hey, you did find one of these hay rake things, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I think that's just about a requirement. If you go in a hayfield, you have to dig at least one of those. And then I found a part off of the horse-drawn hay rake. That would be one of the
big ones.
The long piece. I'd never found one of those before, so it was a good day.
Yeah, it sure beats sitting on the couch.
Absolutely. You can't find anything sitting on the couch.
Anything you want to say before we go?
No, just had a good day.
Had a good day, had a great time with my friend Byron here, and we'll be out digging again. We're going to probably hit an area in Randolph County. We found a campsite up there that I think is kind of virgin territory.
I believe.
Well, what'd you think about the show?
It's boring.
Ah! Thank you for watching Digging History. We want to send out a special thank you to the West Virginia Library Commission for their support and access to books and historical articles that help us locate and bring history alive. Remember that some of the greatest adventures is just a short trip to your local library. And it's a tremendous resource that's free for us to use. Just make sure that you're wearing your mask and following the COVID-19 restrictions. Hey, look, we also want to thank the West Virginia Library TV Network and Beth Garrigle, our producer, who donates her time and energy to this project. We couldn't do it without you. In addition, we wish to thank all the great property owners who have given us access to your property, including our great friend Scott Smith in Putnam County and Chris Yeager with Appalachian Cannabis Company. We also want to send a special shout out to Fisher Research Labs for providing us technical and material support to make this show a success, and our special guests, Byron Tucker, U.S. Navy veteran, and Clint Ridenauer, our Army Iraq War veteran, who have been out digging with us. And they helped us gain access to private property sites that turned up some pretty awesome relics. So have an awesome day, folks. And remember that a day digging history beats a day on the couch, because why? You can't?
You ain't gonna find nothing sitting on the couch eating potato chips, playing your PlayStation or your Nintendo Switch, whatever. Your electronic devices, let's just put it that way. And Beth, you are the poo.
Absolutely. God bless. Have a good day. Get to digging.